Couple minutes time, but I know that a few of you are on deadline, so we'll welcome her when she arrives and we can start things off after a very interesting afternoon that I think we dodged the weather bullet, as hard as that is to believe, at plus 10 or whatever it is out and raining. But congratulations to the two of you, and we'll open up the floor.
Leslie, you could have taken, I guess, an easy way out in the jump off, just sort of stepped in and stepped up. So you didn't do that.
Well, I think Spruce Meadows does so much for us, and I know it was important for them to have somebody come back for the jump off, and I had talked with John about that, and it's sort of the least we can do to give back to Spruce.
Does it get any easier in 2011?
I'm sorry?
Does it get any easier in 2011?
Oh, well, you know, I think he's jumped or been in the top of the derbies, at least one derby every year since I've been doing the derbies, which is probably 4 or 5 years. He's just a great derby horse. He's easy to ride. He's very brave. He's not hard on himself. You know, he never jumps too exuberantly or gets too excited about everything. So he's just very steady Eddie, that's a great attribute in a derby horse.
Do you find that it is the same course every year and something that you've done?
Yeah, no, there's
Does it get easier?
It gets easier if you've ridden a horse that you've ridden over that course before. Like, it's very, I used to get sick to my stomach when I used to start to do derbies. I'd walk the derby and I'd literally get ill. And now, like with Lenny, you wake up on Sunday morning, you go, oh, it's derby day. And if you have Lenny, and if you have a horse you don't know, you wake up and you go, oh dear, it's derby day. So it really depends on the horse you're on.
It's gotta be fun to get out there.
Oh yeah, it's a blast because I know he's going to go through the Grob. I know he's going to go through the Liverpools. I know he's not going to do anything stupid.
Yeah.
And I know the worst that's going to happen is I have some rails.
Yeah. Even if, for you and Wrigley, was that your first derby with Wrigley?
My first derby with her, but our assistant who used to work for us, Callie Shaw, rode her at least last year, maybe.
Yeah, last year.
So she's done it a few times, and obviously I knew she could do it. So,
But is it fun just to get out there and
yeah, it's like Leslie said, it's nice to be out there on a horse that you have confidence in that is going to fit. You know it's going to go from start to finish without any big catastrophes. Gives you more confidence. It enables you to ride the course so that the horse can jump clean too, because otherwise you're overriding everywhere.
How was the bank?
The bank seemed fine.
Was it
good,
okay?
yeah.
Okay. No, it's kind of watching the top layer peel off.
Talking about the pinstriping that was going on?
Yes, exactly. Which, we see every year. I just wondered if this year was,
I think that's a little how they get their traction though.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, it needs to give a little bit. If it was too hard and slippery, they'd slide right down.
it'd be too slow.
It was great as long as you're not the groundskeeper. Sorry, go ahead, Judge.
Beezie, could you just go through the decision that you made?
Well, it was an easy decision actually. The horse was quite sore from it. She'll be okay if her back foot stepped on her front foot. She had a pretty big gash. She was bleeding and she was sore on it. There was no question.
So I guess like you talked about the first round how well she did.
Yeah.
It's disappointing now, isn't it? In that you didn't get the chance.
Yeah, it's disappointing I didn't get the chance to win, but I'm ecstatic about how she went.
Yeah.
And second is still a good prize in the Derby. So we hope she's okay for next week, and we have a good horse, and a good Derby horse.
Did you know where on course that happened?
I don't.
Oh, okay.
I noticed at the end when I pulled up, I could tell it was bothering her, but I didn't notice it during the course.
In watching the competition today, it was unusual this year that fence 11 was causing a lot of problems. You know that you come off the Liverpool and I don't know 150 meters. Was it just tough for the horses to sight it in or get the distance, or because it hasn't typically caused that many problems?
Was that the Liverpool?
The dry ditch.
The diamond.
Yeah, that was weird, huh?
Yeah, It's never
Yeah,
usually
no,
that problematic.
No, usually they jump that
It
great.
came down quite a lot today.
Possibly the footing was a little slippery right at takeoff because actually I was sort of surprised because a lot of people had down and Lennox, who usually jumps out beautifully, they got there just fine and he sort of just hit it. So that would make me think that maybe there's a slick spot that, you know, they just didn't quite weren't able to push off their front end hard enough. Possibly, because it did
Yeah,
come
it
down a lot.
didn't, usually isn't a huge factor, and it came down with some veteran horses today, and people who usually have a pretty good eye.
Ashlee, oh, I probably asked the same thing.
Never. I'm so proud of her. She this whole week has just risen to the occasion. She loves it here. I love it here, so it's a good combination. She jumped all the hard stuff super easy. You know, the last jump was my fault, and yeah, I couldn't be more proud of her.
It's interesting, the one horse is green, and the other horse, a lot of experience.
Yeah.
So did you approach it differently for both of them, or?
Not really. To be honest, that mare, she rides, she's so brave. Everything I've ever asked of her, she's never questioned. She trusts me. So, you know, I thought if I got through 3AB, that bank, the first one, I was like, okay, if she jumps that and she doesn't look at it, I'm good. And she just jumped it normal, and I was like, okay, I'm good to go. Like, we're on this, and you know, I just kind of trusted her, and I think she trusted me. So it worked out.
Beezie, if you're on a new horse like Wrigley that you haven't done in a derby, how do you measure your speed on horse and decide whether you're going fast enough?
I think the speed you can measure without knowing if they're gonna, I mean, maybe you take a little more time on a turn or up on top of the bank or something, but I think, and like you can go inside or around the post to that table the second time, and I went around both times with mine, but I was able to make the time anyway, so I think generally in a derby you want to just keep a nice even pace. The more you accelerate and come back, it takes a lot of energy out of that, and you need a fresh horse by the end to jump those last two jumps, even though they're not natural fences, they're hard to jump clear.
Do you feel like she kept her stamina throughout?
Yeah, she has good blood and stamina for sure. That's what makes her a good derby horse.
Did Viabola take it the way you thought she would? I know you had more faults than you wanted, but
Yeah,
did the natural seem to suit her all right?
She did the natural as well, which I was surprised. We schooled them at home, and she did them like she had done them all the time. But it was the first time we'd actually schooled them at home, and she did those well. I was surprised she had some of the other fences down than she did, but I think the whole thing was a little distracting for her or something.
Now, she's that second time that you're Canadian champion?
Yeah.
And this time you know what it is.
I know. Last time I didn't know.
This time I just won.
Yeah, this time I know, and I'm very honored. And it was a nice surprise. I didn't realize that because Lisa said it was Katie Perdant or myself, and I didn't know if I had to beat her or what the deal was, but she's like, no, it was just if you like didn't, you know, if you fell off or something, and I was like, oh, okay. I thought I had to like win the class, and so it was actually a nice surprise. Before I did cadet, I knew I had won that, you know. It's a really great accomplishment. I mean, both people to my right, I think I've won it on multiple occasions. So to be able to do it twice now is great. I'm honored.
It obviously sort of signifies that you had a really strong, consistent week. Can you sort of tell me how you're feeling about your...
Yeah, you know, I come here, every time I come here, I'm really excited because I know the competition's going to be great. There's a lot of prize money to be had, and, you know, you got to come with the right horses. There's a lot of different classes to do and everything. So luckily, you know, Cadet's good at all the derby stuff, and I kept him in the classes he was good at. And then Wistful, she decided to grow up a little bit this week. So it was surprising, definitely her and Agrostar, my other young one coming up. So they really decided to step up and fill in, you know, at the top at the top level in it, and it just kind of worked out to be a consistent week. But you know, it can change at any moment, so I'm savoring that for right now. And then Tuesday, it's clean slate all over again.
Further questions? For those that are keeping track, the attendance this week, I just was handed 86,715. And today we were just over 36,000 came to the park. I think some of them, or to the grounds, I think some of them got a little soft. This live television at home is kind of tough on attendance, but no, it was a good testament to the fans here. They do love sissies, yeah, baseball fans. They, the Derby's are obviously real fan favorites here, as you will see as we move through into July and that type of thing. And there's a good reason why. These three show you why they are fan favorites. They always have great results and great horses. And thanks for a strong national. There's you can celebrate tonight, and as Ashlee said, it's a big week next week as we change focus to the Continental with Nations Cups and World Cups and all those types of things. So congratulations on a great week to the three of you, and thank you very much for joining us, and go celebrate.
Thanks.